Hello, everybody. Nice seeing you again. Talks broke off this afternoon between the NBA owners and players union. They're still haggling over loose ends in the contract. The owners may lock the players out July 1st to prevent the signing of free agents. Now, Charlotte coach Dave Cowens and sources inside the Blazers say it's not true. Portland's $19 million backup center, Chris Dudley, and Gary Trent, the Blazers' #1 draft pick, who showed flashes of promise, are not going to Charlotte in exchange for Larry Grandmama Johnson. Associated Press reported the teams were looking into a deal, but besides salary cap problems, Johnson doesn't fit into Portland's youth movement. Besides, questions remain about his history of back problems. Hornets coach Dave Cowens said the Hornets are not trying to get rid of Johnson. And remember, draft day is tomorrow, and you can go to a party over at the Coliseum starting at 3:30 in the afternoon. So who will the Blazers take tomorrow? They need a shooting guard, but will probably be stuck with a small forward unless they trade up from their 17th spot. The Blazers have enough small forwards to fill a stagecoach.
Again, having pretty good depth at all the positions, will probably get the player that we think has the best chance to be an NBA player.
Chances for moving up like last year?
I think it's possible, but I don't predict that we're going to make any trades. I think there's just too much conversation going on with too many teams, and I think you'll see a few teams do something for sure. But, you know, we always look, if there's a way to get up for a purpose, to get somebody that we really like, and if the price to move up is right, we would definitely do it.
Gosh, what a politician he'd make. Seattle Mariners stopper Norm Charlton had a terrible night in Toronto. In the 9th inning, Charlton messed around and walked him.
What are these guys thinking a day before the NBA draft? Sounds like 3 for 1. How does Larry Johnson sound in a Blazer uniform next year? Reports say it could happen. The talk is Blazers' Chris Dudley and Gary Trent, plus a draft pick for the man known as Grandmama, Larry Johnson of Charlotte, the Hornets' leading scorer last year. He has a history of back problems. Charlotte is looking to beef up its defense, and Portland needs a guy who can put it in the hoop. Neither team is commenting tonight. Draft is tomorrow. Stay tuned on this one. It looks like Shawn Kemp will play for the Dream Team after all. The big dog, Glenn Robinson, has an Achilles tendon barking out some serious pain. He's decided not to be a Dream Teamer. Kemp could be chosen to fill his spot pretty soon. Lots of young talent in this year's draft. 2 high school kids will be in the draft. Take a look at Jermaine O'Neal of Eau Claire High School. He's got some serious skills for a teenager. Not many kids can make the jump to pro. Lots of NBA scouts think this guy can. Atlanta may be interested in the star of the future. The Hawks traded their 2 second-round picks to Seattle for the Sonics' first-round choice. The top dogs keep falling at Wimbledon. Yevgeny Kafelnikov is not only a difficult...
The high school ranks for their first draft pick.
Gerber research shows a growing number of parents want food for their babies that don't contain additives. The company denies the move is related to the recent complaints of a public interest group. That group says Gerber deceived the public about the nutritional value of some of its baby foods.
Coming up next on Fox News at 10, the NBA drafted some new talent and generated a few surprises.
Trailblazers may have to invest in some chaperones for their first pick. Highlights coming up in Fox Sports.
These help define a Consumer's Digest Best Buy and help explain why Dodge Neon has been named a Best Buy 2 years in a row.
And now, Ed Whalen with Fox Sports.
Hello, everybody. Nice seeing you again. The Blazers passed over Syracuse All-American John Wallace and selected a 17-year-old kid. He's Jermaine O'Neal, a high school superstar from Columbia, South Carolina. Rick Pitino and several major colleges recruited O'Neal, but he flunked his entrance exams 4 times. So tonight, the 226-pound, 6'11" man-child hugged Mama after entering the draft and being selected by the Blazers.
I was real nervous after the 16th pick. I kind of felt that Portland was going to pick me up. I told my mom that for maybe last week or 2.
O'Neal's coach at Eau Claire High, George Lamp, said the Blazers veterans will need to provide the kid with guidance, but it's good it'll play in Portland.
Portland's sort of like Columbia. It closed down at 12 or 1. You know, the big cities never close, and I don't think you have as many professional leeches in that city as you would in a New York or L.A. or some of those cities.
The name of the game is you have to be willing to work and develop and see some things and hope that it works out for you. So, you know, there's no magic to it, but, you know, we feel that with his attitude and his commitment, you know, he has a chance.
Now, there was an emotional soccer match today. England against Germany. The winner is in the European Championship. The English tabloids riddled Germany by bringing up its Nazis past. The match was played in London, and the British were favored against the crippled Germans, but it was Germany that won this baby in a 6-5 shootout, so it's Germany against the Cinderella Czech team Sunday for the European Championship. After the game, English fans went nuts, shops were vandalized, several people were injured. At one point, outnumbered police retreated. It turns out Dodgers manager Tommy Lasorda suffered a heart attack yesterday. It was initially thought the 68-year-old Lasorda only had a bad stomachache caused by his ulcer. Now doctors say Tommy had a blocked artery. Lasorda underwent an angioplasty, and his cardiologist says Lasorda's heart is better. It's not known how long he'll be out. Now the Dodgers trail without Lasorda tonight, and the Reds sweep the Phillies. Florida squeaks by the Giants, and the Padres beat Montreal. Colorado loses 3 in New York. Ron Gant led the Cards past it.
Got a little serious today. He's okay. And they spit out. The Blazers table the present for the future. At 17, the Portland Politburo selects a 17-year-old high school center. Blazer president Bob Whitsitt is used to this. He picked 17th when he was in Seattle's front office and came up with Sean Kemp. Pretty good player. He is hoping Jermaine O'Neal is another future star. Many wanted Portland to pick John Wallace of Syracuse, a proven college player who stayed in school a final year to improve his draft position. He was there for the taking.
McCarty with the 17th pick in the 1996 NBA draft. The Portland Trail Blazers select Jermaine O'Neal from Eau Claire High School in South Carolina.
Blazers wanted the high school kid over the college kid all the way. They don't expect to go all the way with O'Neal next year.
I don't have expectations. That's what I'm trying to stress to you, that when he's able to play, he'll play. I hope he surprises me and can contribute a lot, but there's not a timetable for him to help us.
What about possible trades? Well, they still may happen. Could be an interesting next few months.
Certainly we'll look at what some of these young guys do in the summer leagues. We'll keep looking at free agent lists. We'll look at everything. And as we said, we don't pack it up after draft day. It's certainly not over. There's a lot of work and a lot of time this summer to explore a lot of things.
So what about Jermaine O'Neal? He was a man among boys in high school. He averaged 22 points and 12 rebounds at Eau Claire High. He's 6'11", doesn't turn 18 till October 13th. O'Neal wants to be the biggest thing out of Columbia, South Carolina since Hootie and the Blowfish. Certainly has time to make the jump from high school and develop.
That's probably been the biggest help that I had, the criticism. It's real hard for me to help people tell me what I can and cannot do. I know what I'm capable of doing, and I know I'm capable with a lot of hard work and playing in the NBA.
O'Neal will move to Portland with his mom and brother. Blazers had the 46th pick overall. Their second-round choice is Marcus Brown of Murray State. Brown's a 6'2" shooting guard and good numbers here, a 26-point average. Brown was the second leading scorer in college basketball last season. He'll try and make a name for himself in Portland. The #1 pick tonight, Allen Iverson of Georgetown. The point guard goes to the Sixers. The first high school player chosen, Kobe Bryant, going to Charlotte. Tears of joy for Stephon Marbury, the 4th pick.
20 long years. We waited for this day. And it's here. It's here now.
Here's a look at the top 10. Marcus Camby of UMass will play with Damon Stoudemire in Toronto. The Grizzlies and T-Wolves swapping choices. The first 7 picks in the draft were underclassmen. Eric Dampier of Mississippi State played in the Far West Classic, rounds out the top 10. Turns out Tommy Lasorda had a heart attack. The Dodger
camp with some of the players on the team having a less than sterling reputation.
We did. So we went to the top and asked the Blazers president. Ed Whalen is next.
Follow-up conversation with Bob Whitsitt on the drafting of that 17-year-old. Our concern is Jermaine O'Neal will be badly influenced by some of the Blazers veterans. James Robinson, Clifford Robinson, and Rod Strickland have had run-ins with the law. When Blazers president Bob Whitsitt ran the Sonics, he drafted All-Pro Sean Kemp out of high school.
When we had Sean Kemp that first year, we had some major problems on our basketball team. We had guys fighting in the street and guys being arrested, and I'm not proud of it, but Sean gravitated toward the good people and developed relationships with some of the other young people and some of the other good people on our team, and that became a real positive.
And Whitsitt expects young O'Neal will do the same. Now the young'un, his coach, and a psychologist we spoke to think Jermaine O'Neal can survive the NBA grind. Brian Bushlack has that story.
While most boys his age are learning to shave, Jermaine O'Neal's heading to the NBA.
It's a real nice area. I've been out there. I like the coaches a whole lot. The team is real good. You know, they made it to the playoffs. I just plan to give them 110% and work real hard for them.
O'Neal doesn't turn 18 until mid-October, but he's already a big man on the court. The question, though, is off the court. Throwing a teenager together with these guys?
You have an extra bedroom over at your place, right?
No problem.
I think we're working on that already.
He won't be staying at PJ's place, but the Blazers will have to keep a close eye on young O'Neal. Dr. Frank Calistro is a sports psychologist who feels the adjustment away from basketball will be important.
He's absolutely got to be aware of the fact that the psychological pressure on him is going to be enormous, and that just like he pays a lot of attention to his physical training and development, he's got to stay on top of that too.
O'Neal will bring his mother and brother with him to Portland, a city that some feel is a perfect fit for an NBA teenager.
I don't think you have as many professional leeches in that city.